Welcome back. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, now has a new president. He's Reverend Shupo Ayokunle, the current national president of the Nigerian Baptist Convention. Reverend Ayokunle emerged following the election conducted today at the National Christian Center, Abuja. He takes over from Pastor Ayo Orishejafo. Announcing the results of the election, Pastor Orishejafo said Reverend Ayokunle defeated his rival Joseph Otubu of the Cherubim and Seraphim movement, scoring 54 votes against his opponent, who polled 28 votes. Cross over to the world of sports now, and here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Yes, indeed. Time now for some sports news. Nigeria's senior women's basketball team hopes of qualifying for this year's Olympic Games in Brazil is indeed back on track. The D-Tigers beat South Korea 70 to 69 points in a tight contest at the FIBA Women's Olympic qualifying tournament in France. South Korea won the first quarter 20 to 13 points. However, Nigeria rallied back to win the second and third quarter 15 to 13 and 19 to 13 points. The Tigers dominated a tense fourth quarter 23 to 18 points to record their first victory at FIBA qualifiers. The 5 teams from the tournament will join other teams that have already qualified for the games that will begin in August this year.
Pressure on the perimeter, almost walked. Now Ilonu, Kalu launches a three. Go! Can you believe it? Unbelievable! They haven't made a three all day. And Kalu.
The House of Representatives has mandated the Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF, to ensure immediate payment of entitlements due to the families of former Super Eagles coaches Stephen Keshi and Amodu Shuaibu. Sponsoring the motion, Representative Samuel Onuigbo noted that the two iconic Nigerians served the country as coaches, and their demise is a huge loss to both national and the international community. The House also asked the federal government to immortalize the football icons in order to encourage the younger ones to always give their best for the development of the nation. Brazilian Football Confederation have sacked manager Dunga. The former international who led Brazil to World Cup glory in 1994 was appointed manager in the aftermath of the 2014 edition of the tournament, where they lost out in the semi-finals. As hosts, Brazil were expected to win the competition, but were humbled by eventual champions Germany. However, since taking charge, Brazil's fortunes have hardly improved. The 52-year-old saw his team knocked out at the semi-final stage of the 2015 Copa America, and he failed to leave Brazil out of their group at the Copa America Centenario going on in the United States. Europe football governing body UEFA has confirmed that it has imposed a suspended disqualification on Russia in the wake of fan violence in Marseille. UEFA says it has taken further measures to try and avoid any more crowd trouble in Lille. Well, that's a wrap in sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Following the mass killing in a gay nightclub in Florida, the United Nations Human Rights Office has urged the U.S. leadership to live up to its obligations to protect citizens from what it describes as horrifying, commonplace but preventable violent attacks that are the direct results of insufficient gun control. At a press conference today, the spokesperson for the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Rupert Colville, quoting the High Commissioner, said, "It's hard to find a rational justification that explains the ease with which people can buy firearms, including assault rifles, in spite of prior criminal backgrounds, drug use, histories of domestic violence and mental illness, or direct contact with extremists, both domestic and foreign." End of quote. Mr. Colville wondered how many more killings it will take the U.S. to adopt stricter gun regulation. A new human rights report by the UN body on the acquisition, possession and use of firearms by civilians highlights the devastating impact of gun violence, human rights such as the rights to life, security, education and health, among others. And the French President François Hollande says the murder of 2 police officials by a man claiming allegiance to ISIS is unquestionably a terrorist act. A police commander was stabbed to death before his partner, also a police employee and a child, were taken hostage in their home near Paris. The partner was later found dead, but the 3-year-old boy survived. Reports said the attacker had spent time in jail over links to jihadist groups. 2 people linked to the man, named by French sources as Larose Arballa, have been arrested and placed in custody. The 25-year-old murderer was killed during the police assault on the couple's home, hours after posting a 13-minute live video on Facebook in which he swore allegiance to ISIS. And the main news again. The Department of State Services today said that the leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaki, is being detained to guarantee his safety. The DSS presented this position as the hearing on the suit filed by the Shiite leader challenging his arrest and continued detention failed to commence, following the fresh issues raised by the DSS that he's been held under protective custody and not detention. Also today, the Senate stepped down the bill for the establishment of a Northeast Development Commission over diversion of location and funding of the proposed commission. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Bunyaso. Do have a good night.